Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Horizon 3 speed build, and this particular build is for a car which typically isn't an obvious choice of straight line machine. It can be used as one, most definitely, but it tends to be more used as a drift car for obvious reasons. The S chassis from Nissan is a great base car for drifting with, very popular JDM car. Personally, I like the 240SX, which is of course this car, a little bit more actually to say the S13s or S14s, that kind of thing. I've always liked the shape of this one a bit more. Now, as far as the visuals on a car like this, and a number of other JDM cars on the game as well, you do have more options because of stuff like body kits and wings, which you don't have on, for instance, super sports cars or supercars. So that's down to you whether or not you want stuff like the Rocket Bunny kit. You could go without it, have a more streamlined sleeper look, or you could go for the full-on body kit as I have. Obviously it's down to you, and that's the advantage of using these videos rather than a storefront tune, because you can change it if you want to. If, however, you do already like the way that I've set up this car with the rims, etc., obviously not including the colour, you can get this exact build on my storefront. So check the video description down below for keywords to find it quickly, and you can get that. Now, as is, if you want to do it yourself, of course, you've got other options as far as engine conversion, etc. You've got a couple of different engines to go for. The one which is enticing is, of course, the quad rotor, and you could go for that if you want to, but I would recommend the twin turbo. Essentially, I believe it's a GTR engine. Yeah, I think it is a GTR engine, R35, and that engine gives you very good all-round performance. Not that the rotary is bad, but the GTR is just such a strong and an overwhelmingly good all-round engine that I would recommend it the most. Although I do personally prefer the rotary, I would recommend the R35 engine over it in terms of all-round ability. I've converted it to all-wheel drive, which many drifters won't like, so this really is a car that it's down to personal preference with. If you're looking purely for speed, I would recommend all-wheel drive because it gets you off the line so much quicker, and also of course gives you better off-road ability, which on a free roaming game isn't something that you should forget. Now, as far as the rest, it's down to you, of course. Visuals, I would recommend, as you can see through the window there, the full roll cage package, lower the weight, increase the power, all that kind of good stuff. And then as far as the tuning side of things, which of course is the way to unlock more of the car's potential, you can see from the benchmark, it's got really good numbers. In particular, the top speed is very good for an older JDM car. Not an ancient one, but slightly older than some. 263 flat out is not bad at all. Now, as far as the gearbox, I would recommend a final drive, as you can see, of 2.6, then individual gears of 2.9, 2, 1.5, 1.17, 0.93 and 0.75. So not an overly radical gearbox, just a couple of minor changes. As far as the rest, you know the drill if you've been on the channel before. Neutral camber and tow, 1 degree of caster for manoeuvrability, although of course you could change any of those if it's down to your personal preference. As far as anti-roll, we've rounded those to 32 and 21. Springs on 160 and 175. I've opted fairly obviously for the lowest ride height. You've got to have that lowered look. Well, actually you don't have to if you don't want to, but I would recommend it. As far as dampers, we've got 14 and 6 respectively. Aero doesn't apply, and I wouldn't recommend fitting the race wing. It's just not necessary on a speed build. As far as the diff, I would recommend 100% on acceleration, 0 on deceleration, and then for this particular car, a 79% split in favour of the rear. So that's it overall for the build. Obviously, I hope you have a lot of fun using the car and potentially win races with it as well. So if you'd like to keep up with new builds that I haven't even released yet, of course you can hit subscribe down below to be among the first to see them, or you can check out the playlist at the end of this video for the tunes which we've already done, and there are quite a lot of them. So that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys next time. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.